You're watching Poland Daily Business Edition. The energy crisis is looming over Poland. We may lack the electric power for our industry and for the citizens. Therefore, there are lots of thoughts what to do next. One of the options is to start building the atomic power plant. This is ongoing discussion. It's almost 40 years, and like every government discussed this issue, and still we don't even have a location. Our guest tonight, Professor Grzegorz Karwasz of Nicolaus Copernicus University, an expert of International Agency of Atomic Energy. Sir, so let us start. How many of energy units we will lack in the next 10 years?
Well, the recent study by the Polish Minister of Energy says that we will lack some 50% of energy if nothing happens within 20 years. So in 10 years, it will be going slowly down, our capacity to fulfill the demand for the electric power. And in 20 years, it will be really a serious crisis.
Assuming that Polish economy will develop and we will be on the par with, say, South Korea?
Well, we are exactly below the level of South Korea, because South Korea per capita has something like twice as much as Poland. But taking into account the present growth of Poland and the present amount of citizens, we will lack some 40–50% of electric power if we do not undertake any action.
Okay, and the atomic power plant is the solution?
Well, not only in the case of Poland would be a solution, because Polish production of energy is based on coal, and brown coal essentially, and it will not last forever. It will finish soon. So we must replace brown coal and black coal. And we have not enough wind, we have not enough photovoltaic power, so we must substitute coal with something. The solution other countries adopt is nuclear energy.
It is nuclear energy, but it is still very expensive option. It is a burden that takes years. We have examples from Finland, we have examples from Great Britain, the countries that normally are very well organized, and yet the time of this investment is really killing the whole financial procedure.
Well, the time of the investment is long. So this is one of the points that decisions should be taken quickly, because building time is at least 10 years. About costs. Cost of production of energy in any case is high. You said Great Britain. Great Britain is building wind stations on the sea. This is the most expensive way of getting energy. So in any case, the cost is high. In the case of nuclear power, one has to be prepared with something like 4 billion euro to get 1 gigawatt of energy, which is a reasonable amount of energy we need.
Speaking of that, do we have any new technologies? Because there are rumors about some breakthrough technology that will deliver nuclear power quickly and cheaply.
Well, a lot of research is going on, and a lot of solutions could be considered, but these solutions are not ready. I'm an expert at International Atomic Energy Agency working for thermonuclear power, working on a station which will be still a research station in Cadarache in France, which will be ready in some 10 years. The cost of this experimental power station is 13 billion euro just for the beginning. So, well, there is a lot of rumor, there is a lot of discussion, there are different possibilities, but nothing is ready.
Yes, so we are looking at the commercially available nuclear power plants, and there is a French option, the American option, Chinese option, and Korean option. Am I missing something?
Yes. No, well, one could get also Brazilian option. Also, Brasilia constructs by their own. They construct nuclear power stations, but who is the most developed? I would say France, which uses majority of some 80% of electric power comes in France from nuclear power. Americans who developed it for first, and they are still very active in this field. They should also invest in this field. Korea, who builds 4 nuclear power plants in Arab Emirates, so there is a lot of different options. Obviously, we are in Europe, and European options should be the closest.
That means the French...
Well, I'm not saying French, I'm saying European option. Well, this decision is not to scientists. This decision is up to politicians, up to government. Well, Koreans are at the moment the most progressing country. I'm also an expert in Korea, working for Korean research in the field of thermonuclear power, atomic processes in thermonuclear power. So I know that they are very well prepared, very well organized, with high industrial capacities. Obviously, this is not up to scientists to decide which option should be used.
But looking at the options, we see the current nuclear power. Is this a design that's 40, 50 years old?
No. Well, this is a constant progress in this field. One can choose also Canadian type of reactor, which does not need enriched uranium, which is an option, safe option, because enriched uranium could be used for nuclear weapons. So one can use this. One can use Korean option with high-pressure water cooling. There is a number of options one could choose. There is not the options 40 years ago. Well, in Poland, 40 years ago, there was an option to build a nuclear power plant, one of them, with the technology from a country which does not exist anymore. So we would have a technology from a country, well, not existing, just one power plant outside an industrial reality. So the option from 40 years ago, luckily, is over.
You mentioned that the brown coal that is powering currently Poland is going away. We will not have it in 10 or 20 years. Will we have uranium?
No, we don't have uranium. Uranium is to be bought in Australia or in Kazakhstan, in any part of the world.
Will there be enough uranium for nuclear power plants?
Yes, there will be still enough uranium for next 50 years, I would say, for next 50 years. The thermonuclear power plant we are building in Kadarash will be ready just in 50 years, commercially ready just in 50 years. But we will need electric power in Poland in 10 years.
There is also an issue of safety of the nuclear power.
Well, so there's the question about safety is about everything. As an example, I give the biggest disaster which happened in Italy recently. It was in Viareggio, with a train bringing liquid gas, and it exploded on the station. So a number of houses was destroyed, and some 50 persons were killed. So the question about the safety is everywhere. Nuclear power plants are projected to be safe.
So, sir, thank you very much for this insight to the nuclear energy. Professor Grzegorz Karwasz of Nicolaus Copernicus University.